From streamlining transportation projects to expanding corporate protections, lawmakers are tackling a wide range of issues that intersect with the business community. And with just a week or two left before a July 4th break, several of these bills are moving quickly. You're watching the Matthews Area Chamber Advocacy Update, sponsored by Atrium Health. I'm Brian Francis, and it is June 23rd, 2025. The PAVE Act, which would allow Mecklenburg County voters to decide on a 1-cent sales tax for transportation, passed the House last week and it now moves to the Senate. While billed as a major infrastructure investment, the proposal limits flexibility for rail. No more than 40% of funds can go towards rail over 30 years, while at least 20% must support buses and microtransit. For Matthews and other communities along the proposed Silver Line, that likely means expanded bus service rather than light rail. Concerns also remain about local funding priorities and long-term project alignment. Next, let's look at another transportation bill. Senate Bill 391 is a broad transportation bill. It supports infrastructure investment by streamlining how DOT projects are delivered. It expands opportunities for public-private partnerships, and it updates financial policies to improve cash flow to keep projects on track. The bill also removes the cap on Turnpike Authority projects and allows the use of speed enforcement cameras in school zones to improve safety. There are other changes like easing DMV backlogs, updating right-of-way rules, and allowing targeted improvements to ferries and bridges, all showing a commitment to modernizing North Carolina's transportation system. As you heard, there's a lot in this bill. It's scheduled to be voted on by the Senate this week and will need to go back to the House before going to the governor for final approval. House Bill 402 is a bill we've discussed before. It adds new oversight to costly state regulations. For instance, it requires legislative approval for any rule with a total financial impact of $20 million or more over the next 5 years. It also raises the voting threshold for agency boards that want to pass other high-cost rules. The goal is to reduce overly burdensome regulations and improve accountability for decisions that affect business. The bill was recently ratified, and it is now headed to the governor for his signature or veto. House Bill 388 makes several updates to corporate and estate laws that matter to businesses. It allows companies to limit or remove personal liability for their officers, similar to protections already allowed for their directors. It also lets corporations name specific venues for resolving internal legal disputes, and it streamlines the process for shareholder lawsuits. The bill updates emergency procedures by clarifying how companies can operate under emergency bylaws. Now, a proposed amendment to this bill, it was actually tabled. It did not get included in the bill, but it would have created a new state tax credit for small businesses hurt by federal tariffs imposed after February 4th. It would have offered up to $25,000 for qualifying businesses with fewer than 100 employees and less than $1 million in annual revenue. Now, the amendment wasn't adopted, but it does highlight continued concern over the impact of trade policy on North Carolina businesses. The bill is scheduled for a third reading in the Senate this week, and then we'll go back to the House for concurrence. One final provision of that bill that I want to mention, it also makes remote notarization permanent, giving added flexibility for businesses and individuals who need documents notarized, and giving us at least one good thing that came out of COVID when the state initially tried remote notarization. That's all for today. We'll continue tracking these and other policies that could impact businesses in Matthews. Until next time, I'm Brian Francis, and this has been the Matthews Area Chamber Advocacy Update, sponsored by Atrium Health.